Hello and welcome to the Christmas episode of Untitled Space here. Today we're going to be doing a recap basically of where we've come since we first started this channel. It's been over a year now and my what a year it's been. So let's introduce everybody that's going to be joining us today. Today with me I have Ryan and Miko. Guys, would you like to say hello?
Hello. Ryan, you go first because my video is not working.
No problem, Miko. Hello and welcome to the Total Space Madness. I'm Ryan from the Space Update. Hope you guys are doing well. This is our Christmas special today. But before we kick things off, we're going through some technical difficulties with some bits. I'll run you through this week's launch updates, as we always do on the Space Update while everything's getting sorted. First up on Thursday, 27th of 23rd, even tomorrow, we've got Long March 7A launching from China. And then on Friday, we might see another Russian Nagra A5 launching. The big heavy lift rocket from Russia on the 24th. And what we'll probably discuss later on, Ariane 5 and the James Webb Space Telescope being pushed to Christmas, believe it or not. It's not the night before Christmas. So my little fancy poem in my last episode has gone tickety-boo. So unfortunately, so that one's been pushed back. We'll discuss that one in a bit. And then looking a little bit further ahead to Sunday, Monday, after Christmas, we've got another launch from China. And then we've got another launch from the mighty Soyuz rocket from Roscosmos, launching a load more stuff. And we've had testing from SpaceX with a super heavy booster, and we'll discuss all that later in the show and other things and new releases we've had today. But I'll hand you over to Miko, who'll do his intro.
Yeah, hello, Mikko here. Host of Deep Dive, and now actually the video is working. So happy to be here. It's been over a year, and yeah, it's been a good year. Let's go.
Right, now we're all up and working.
I'm also somewhat here, probably just talking along in the background, but hi everyone. Happy holidays to everyone viewing, everyone that joined us today on the live stream.
Yes, a rare sighting of Mr. Producer in the wild.
Now you see him, now you don't. But I'd like to say we've had lots of content and fantastic people on the show in the past year. It's crazy to think who we've had in just our little short time, really. And we've actually had a new release today from one of our guests. If you want to talk about more about that, Rich and Miko.
Yeah, I can take that one. We did actually have our second chat with Rogue Space. So we had the first chat with them in the summer, and then we asked them to come over again. And if you haven't seen that or the first one, go do it now. Interesting stuff. Robots building space stations in orbit.
Yeah, so I recommend you go and watch that. Fantastic technology coming from Rogue Space and many other companies out there. Definitely go and watch part 1 and 2. So don't just go and see the most recent one. Make sure you watch the first part so you know what's going on in the second part. So it's an absolutely fantastic interview.
And just in case you are hungry for yet more content over the festive period, well, first of all, actually, happy holiday season from everybody here at Total Space. And also in the pipeline, if you keep your eyes peeled over the festive period, we're also going to have another release, which was our interview with the Orbital Assembly Corporation. Some very interesting things discussed there, so definitely keep your eyes peeled on the channel for that one in the next few days.
Yeah, that was a very interesting discussion. And so that the content doesn't stop, we have Sapolsk in the chat, and I had a chat with him, and our chat about spin launch, Starship on the moon. We will title that probably Lunar Future 4, so it will be next episode in that series. So that's probably gonna come out next week.
Speaking of, if you haven't seen the earlier episodes in the Lunar Future series, definitely worth a watch, for sure.
But just that spin launch rocket, absolutely insane. The way it's just a completely different version of just like how you'd think to launch a rocket, that just to spin it round and just launch it kind of thing. But absolutely fantastic, and make sure you go and watch that that video once it's out and everything. Absolutely fantastic, and can't wait to see it myself.
Speaking of spin launch, if they crack that here on Earth, they can pretty much do that anywhere, right? Because the gravity wells elsewhere are much, much, much lower. So that's effectively our first step into mass drivers, more or less.
Yeah. Sample returns from the moon, Mars, and everywhere elsewhere like that, where the gravity's a hell of a lot lower.
Yeah, absolutely.
One moon sample coming in hot.
Yeah.
But we had a lot more news. We've had obviously James Webb Space Telescope being pushed back. Obviously, it was supposed to be Christmas Eve, but now it's Christmas Day, believe it or not, middle of the day, Christmas Day launching. So unfortunately for all the Ariane team and ESA and NASA and everyone, haven't got Christmas off. Unfortunately, we're launching that $1 billion. Well, I'll say $1 billion. It's probably a lot more than that. The James
10
Webb Space
billion.
Telescope. Yeah.
But I mean, Christmas Day isn't looking very likely either, is it? Because the weather conditions aren't looking ideal for a Christmas Day launch, or even.
They did say that they would be looking to do another review on the day. But however, even if it does launch on Christmas, you've got to think, right? That's one heck of a Christmas present for all the astronomers out there and all the astrophysicists who are raring to go with this thing. Obviously, it's going to be a nervous first little while for them whilst it launches, and then it has to go through its deployment sequence and that. But when it comes back with its first public data, where all of the science teams get together and analyze the first public data, that's going to be like Christmas for them, for sure.
Definitely. It'd be absolutely amazing. We spoke with Dr. Jonathan Gardner from NASA Goddard earlier in the year. I'll post that link out over on Twitter to that video after the show. Absolutely fantastic interview with him and everyone here at Total Space. Might be getting him back on the show to do a multiplanetary episode on exoplanets and other little bits, or one of the other guys from NASA Goddard in the new year. So that'll be absolutely amazing to see, and maybe we could get some preliminary information from the guys at NASA, get them on the show, and we can run through it all, which will be absolutely incredible. And we're bringing a lot more guests in the new year, so we're working really hard behind the scenes for you guys to carry on that long list of guests and make it a hell of a lot bigger. But and then obviously got James Webb Space Telescope and everything obviously, but we've also had SpaceX's Booster 4 doing a cryo test finally earlier on today, getting all frosty, the top and bottom section, so that was absolutely incredible to see. So hopefully just moving towards that flight plan early next year. But just got a question there from Shambolics. Any plans for next year, Total Space Network? Lots of plans. What are your plans, Rich?
So, as Mr. Producer alluded to earlier, we're going to be going... Okay, I see. So when Mr. Producer was on earlier, it turns out his audio wasn't primed. So I'll repeat what he said. In the new year, we're going to be looking to try a new format. And what Mr. Producer was asking earlier is in the comment section, if you can let us know what best time and day is for you guys to be able to come and attend a live event with us once a week. And that event is going to be containing everybody as far as we can. And it's going to be effectively a weekly update. And that's going to be our sort of mainstay going forward with live B-roll. And then from there, we're going to be adding supplemental videos and stuff as well as we go along. So lots and lots of content to come up in the next year. Noses to the grindstone. There's going to be no rest for us.
Yeah, lots and lots of
So-
work in the background with A, with the live streams, and B, with getting guests on to show and a hell of a lot more, to be honest. So expect a lot of changes.
And also, the website will be undergoing a change as well. This is also a really good time to put it out there. If you were listening to our content via podcasts, unfortunately, as of the new year, the podcast service will stop and cease. Already, anybody who does listen to our podcasts will have noticed that there hasn't been new podcasts for a while. This is due to the fact that the listenership really isn't out there for us. So we seem to get way more views than we do listens. So because of that, we're instead of splitting our focus between audio and video, we're just going to be focusing solely primarily on video. So as of the new year, all those podcasts, I don't know whether they will remain where they are forever. I don't know what happens when we shut down our podcast system. But yeah, there won't be any new podcasts going forward. It will all be video content.
most platforms will keep it up there for 3 to 6 months, but then after that, it's a bit unknown. They might keep it there, they might take it down, the likes of Apple, Spotify, and stuff like that. So watch them while you can. But obviously, it's always going to be on YouTube, so never worry if you've missed any previous episodes of any kind. It's all backed up on YouTube anyway, so don't worry about that. And can I point out, where's your Christmas jumpers?
I don't have one.
On my Christmas tree.
The memo was only sent to you, Ryan.
In my case, mine's in the laundry. I was hoping it was going to be ready by now, but unfortunately, it was not. So
I've got a selection of 10 or 12, I think. So.
We only have the one. I need to up my game on the Christmas jumpers, man. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
Christmas jumpers aren't really a thing here.
Well, you're going to get one sent to your Miko soon. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
Total
think I
Space
just thought-
Network one.
Yeah.
So I'll get cracking with that design for next year. Total Space Network themed Christmas jumpers.
Yeah. And yeah, speaking of the new content format, I feel like we are a bit going back to our roots when we started with a podcast. So that will be fun. And during the year, we have all noticed that it's actually quite a bit of work to do episodes on YouTube.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And a lot of organization.
Yeah, so live content is fairly easy to do. Of course, we will try to get some edited clips there. So
But
still going
the
to
thing there
take
is
some
as
time,
well,
but yeah.
a live audience is always going to be better for participation as well. We're looking to switch towards a more live format for participation for you guys in the audience. You know, it's about you guys crafting what this show looks like, and instead of doing that on a delay, we can do that in real time for you guys. You know, the subjects that matter to you the most, the questions that you need answering can be done in real time rather than a pre-recorded format.
Yeah, and like I say, we've come a long way in the past past year. We've done a lot of predictions last year. I don't know if anyone's got them bullet pointed down in terms of likes and subscribers and
I
something
do
like that.
remember that one of our predictions from last year, made by Mr. Producer himself, is that by the following year we would be monetized.
We are.
And we are.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
No fireworks.
Yeah,
Come on, Mr.
All the
Producer.
budget went on the nice borders.
And that text that's like over there.
Yeah, there was
That's
nothing
all-
left in the
that's all-
budget.
That's all the budget we had. Yeah, but I think we've got 1,000 or the 1,600 subscribers here on YouTube, and then Odysee on the screen there. If you go and check us out on Odysee, times it by 2.5 Mako or something like that. Is it? We've got like nearly going on 4,000 nearly.
I think about 3,600 or so.
Yeah. So we're doing a hell of a lot better on there than on here. But there you go.
Yeah.
But if you combine that, we've got a combined subscribers of going on 5,000 or 6,000. So it's overall, it's going absolutely amazing. Getting lots of amazing people on the show. I mean, to reel off some of the names we've had, obviously Rogue Space. We had Orbital Assembly on. We've had Dr. Jonathan Gardner from NASA Goddard. We've had ESA, Rocket Lab. A lot of these guys want to try and get back on the show. We've had Skyrora. We've had, who else we had? I'm just mind blanking right now.
ESA,
Spaceport Cornwall, yeah.
Yeah. How could I forget that? I drove all the way down there. And we're going back to Spaceport Cornwall for the Virgin Orbit launch later next year. So that'll be amazing to see. And maybe Skyrora, pending logistics.
And
Bit of a nightmare.
we're also looking at potentially Unst for the Lockheed ABL launch at the end of next year.
Yeah, Lockheed as well, yeah.
We've been doing a lot of on the ground planning for trying to broadcast from a place that's in the middle of nowhere, notoriously bad to even connect to the outside world from, but we're working on that for you guys as well.
Yeah, they decided to launch from a place called Unst in Shetland. And just to give you an idea for people who might not know where that is, if you imagine the United Kingdom, and then you imagine up to the northeast of it, you have Norway, and you drew a line between the top of the UK and Norway, and then along that line, stick your finger in the middle where the ocean is. That's roughly where the Shetland Islands are. Maybe a bit closer to the UK than Norway. But yeah, it's a few ferry rides, and then you've got inter-island ferries, because the Shetland Islands are a group. It's not just the one. You have to island hop about 3 or 4 times to get to Unst. And even then, accommodation is yet another problem. And then you've got connectivity, which is yet another problem when you're that high up on the globe. So yeah, that's it's been a challenge finding the necessaries.
Yeah, should be smooth sailing within reason, but great place to launch from. But logistically, for everyone else, it's a bit of a nightmare, to say the least. I know commuting there would be, for Rich, it wouldn't be as bad, but still, Rich, from your location, it'll still take upwards of 3 to 4 hours or more.
So if I wanted to make sure I had a mode of transport over there and take the car, the ferry from my nearest port to Shetland is 13 hours one way.
Oh, Christ.
That's just for the ferry, okay?
Yeah.
Then you've got about 6 hours of traveling across the islands if you count the island hopping ferries as well, the barges. So yeah, it might look that I'm relatively close, but trust me, it's a lot of doing. You can fly there, But the only problem is the airport is at the very south of the island chain, and we need to go to the very north.
So, and then
Of course.
I'm further south than Richard, so I'll be add another 5 or 6 hours onto that, and then Miko a couple of flights and add a few days on after
Yeah.
Miko.
Okay,
So,
gents,
a
good
lot
time
more.
to interject from Unst. Predictions for next Christmas, because we did predictions last Christmas. We touched on predictions a little while ago. Shoot, total number of subscribers on all platforms for next year.
Combined total.
Combined total, yeah.
Well, we're already at about 5 or 6 now. So I'd say combined total, I just want to say double it. Say around 11 to 12,000.
I'll be a bit optimistic and say 17 to 18.
I was going for a round number of 20.
What does the winner get, Mr. Producer?
You heard it here,
Nice.
folks. We got
But-
the receipts now.
Yeah, but and as always, if you'd like to support what we do on Patreon, head up to patreon.com/total space. And what can you get there, Richard?
So if you become a Patreon member, you can gain access to our Discord server, and you can actually join in with us on the episodes. So when we're shooting live, you can actually sit in the channel if you choose and listen in as we record live. You can also get to see behind the scenes through the processes, what we do. You get early access to our episodes through Patreon as well. And also, on the odd occasion, we do also have a Patreon-only release, and that is also going to be tied into YouTube channel memberships. Again, we still have a few I's to dot and T's to cross to finish that one. It's been in the works for a while now. We've just had a few challenges to deal with on the AdSense side of things, but it's coming. So, yeah. And I have it in my ear from Mr. Producer that apparently YouTube channel memberships is live now under this very video. So it has been sorted. I was just made aware of this as we speak.
Cool.
So go and do that right now. and as always, all our merch over via the website and everything. So if you want a Total Space t-shirt, become Multiplanety, or you want to be part of the Miko fan club or the Space Update, all the merch is up there for you guys to purchase, whether it's a mug, sticker, t-shirt, hoodie, or if you want something custom made, just give us a message and we'll try and sort something out for you.
So
We need
Absolutely.
to get a wig made that matches Ryan's hair, because everybody would buy it.
a Ryan's
Like,
hair,
everybody would buy that.
authentic, like Ryan signed wig.
It wouldn't be as good though. It wouldn't be.
Like the reason we were late on air today is because Ryan was doing his hair, and so we were like 3 minutes late on YouTube tonight.
Perfection takes time.
Predictions, guys. Who's the guest? Who's the guest do you think we're gonna have on by this time next year that would surprise the rest of the team?
Guess that who you think we'll have, or who we want to have.
I mean, I would be surprised
Take
if we get anyone from SpaceX.
Would that surprise you, Miko, to get somebody from SpaceX?
It really would.
What about
I
you,
think it
Gwen?
would surprise all of Team Space if we managed to secure an interview with Gwyn Shotwell.
I mean, I've said for a while, if anybody listening or watching these shows does work at SpaceX, I would genuinely prefer Gwen Shotwell over Elon. I know Elon's quite busy trying to take humans multiplanetary, and I'd really like to pick at Gwen's brains. But yeah, I think anyone from SpaceX would surprise me. But I mean, specific guests like, you know, like you were saying Shotwell there, or, you know, Beck, or who do you think would surprise the team the most?
I think Peter Beck from Rocket Lab. Obviously, we've had Richard French from the California base and everything talking about Photon, and when we were talking about the moon missions, Mars and Venus, and everything like that. But obviously, their announcement of Neutron, massive new rocket, and everything. We're aiming to get Peter Beck on, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get that sorted. But that's one I'd like to get on the show. It'd be really good, and get NASA back on the show. But there's lots going on in the background with NASA, so working really hard for that to get.
That's actually a lovely segue, because if I got to choose someone that I'd love to have a sit down and a chat with, it would be Alan Chen from the EDL team for Perseverance. I would love to just sit and talk with him about how the EDL experience was of landing Perseverance on Mars, and how it all went. Was there anything that deviated from their expected trajectories or anything like that? Was there anything that made them uncomfortable, or did it all just go straight on the nail like a bullseye? I'd just love to sit and just chat with Alan Chen about that. So if Alan, you're watching this, reach out.
We'll note taken, and I'll push that one for you, Rich.
And Leosha in our Discord is saying UK Space Agency would be great. And I think that could be something that we can actually make happen.
Yeah, because we have a lot of connections in and around the UK Space Agency. It's just find it timing is a lot of the thing with a lot of companies. They're either really busy and you just hit the time wrong. You have to wait a bit longer. So we're working on it. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. And something I would like to happen next year is a total space meetup. I know there are quite a few people who would actually join us already.
Yeah.
I know when we are talking about the Unst visit, we are looking at a team space meetup then as well. We sort of touched on that with a few people. COVID depending, I do want to do something closer towards the beginning of the year, because I know Team Felix wants to come and visit. And so ideally, before they go stateside, if we could arrange something, that might also work.
Yes, our monitor that we use to actually see what's going on is dead.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
So if anyone can still hear us, give us a quick message. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, I think we are just fine on YouTube, but our preview is not good.
But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We've got lots of guests planned and everything in the background. In terms of recent shows, obviously I've got the space update every week, news as you guys know. But have we got anything becoming multiplanetary deep dive coming up in the next few weeks?
Not BM specific, but as I said earlier, there's the OAC interview coming up, which need to finish putting the B-roll together for that one, and then I need to actually send it to OAC for them to approve, so that they can say, yep, that looks good, and make sure there's nothing that they want taken out in there or anything like that. And yeah, so that is coming over the few days, and I'm pretty sure Miko mentioned earlier that there's also something coming for him too.
Yeah, there's the Lunar Future 4 chat with Sabolsk. That's gonna show up next week. And then I actually noticed that we have pretty much done an episode about ABL, but haven't released it. So that's another thing that we could release quite soon.
Yeah, so lots of content coming your way, guys, over the next few weeks, and we'll just keep pushing it. We might have a little slight break over the Christmas period, as you'd expect, just for a week or so, maybe just one or two pre-program videos, interviews, and stuff like that. We might just shoot out over the Christmas period or into New Year, and then it'll be straight back to it. To a bunch of videos every week for you guys, but just
So
the usual space updates from myself and everything. I'll keep blowing that over to you guys, but that's just going to get busier and busier next year. So I mean, fingers crossed for Blue Origin whenever we see that rocket. God even knows when. And then ULA's Vulcan. When will we see that? God knows. And the blue BE4 engines. I know that story's gone a bit dead, but just one of those things. It's involved in the Artemis project, so God even knows what will happen with that. What do you guys think on that?
we've spent a lot of time looking forward and doing predictions and stuff like that, but we haven't actually spent time looking back yet. Like actually proper looking back to where we were when we first started.
Yeah.
And there might be people here that genuinely don't know like how we first got together. And so what I would say is let's start with go round favorite moment in your last year, like for each of us in the year we've been doing this, or the little over a year. What has been your favorite moment, the both of you?
I can go first. I think one of the favorite moments was Inspiration 4 launch. I think I did that with Astrorody. Was there anyone else with us? Probably not. But yeah, that was one of the best events this year.
Yeah, I think it was quite an early one. That one, just the three of yous, Astro Rodi, Miko, and Mr. Producer there in the background. Just the three amigos doing that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was. I mean, two things for me. I couldn't pin it down to one. The first thing was right at the very beginning. I was at the time I didn't have a job, so it was kind of like I was occasionally had a lot of time to kill. So I was just sitting in the car, just randomly recording podcasts on my own. And then I had a call off Mr. Producer. He said, "Right, I'm thinking about doing this thing. Total, we didn't have a name for it at the time. It was like Total Space, something Space, what we're going to call it." And then he's like, "Are you in? Do you want to do this with me?" I was just like, "Let's just do it, record it, however we want to do it. We'll just no fuss, don't no if not but no buts. Let's just do it. Because if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it, kind of thing."
Also,
And that's
my
how we got
favourite
started.
moment, yeah. I'd say
Yeah.
my favourite moment was the calls I placed to each of you gentlemen to say take this journey. Like I asked
Yeah.
each of you to just come and join the madness, and you all accepted, and here we are. We've had a few extra guests along the way, extra hosts and hands, and we're really grateful, and they're all off doing their own thing, and we'll definitely update our viewers on the unfoldings of previous hosts and whatnot. But yeah, definitely placing a call to each of you three gentlemen and saying, let's do something crazy, let's do something that's not being done, because I don't think it's replicated anywhere on YouTube properly yet. It's like a completely different format of running a YouTube channel, and each of you agreed to come on this crazy adventure, and it's been a slow grind, and I know there's points that we've aspired to be a bigger channel or, you know, get better viewership, but ultimately what we have built so far, in my opinion, is great.
What about you, Rich?
My so I'm not gonna say the start was one of my favorite moments, because I was the one host that quite literally had to crash and burn on the first show.
Yeah, because we'd already been going, I'd say, a month already. So me and Miko were already like running and like, "Rich, come on, let's just go."
Yeah, and I did that first BM, and oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible. And that was like, it was like, okay, stop, let's take a minute, think about it, and then right, where do we go from here? And then we sort of rethought, and BM itself has been very fluid over the year that it's been developed. But my favorite moment is also one of my worst moments, and it's really odd. It's my favorite to look back on, but it was my worst at the time. And that was finishing the production of the Humans in Space collaboration with To the Future. What we managed to do was amazing. It was nothing short of amazing.
You're telling me you loved all them late nights and long days of editing and editing and editing and re-editing some more.
Like that part of it I didn't like, but when looking back at it now, seeing what I managed to produce along with the help of Astro Rodi, Kage, and also let's not forget To the Future, the Jishwan and Sebastian, they also helped as well. So and it was a wonderful collaboration, and I hope I hear from them again, actually, because I miss those guys. I really do. It was a lovely collaboration to work on, and it's why it's the most favorite moment, yet also my worst moment from the year, because the workload was insane.
Yeah, as well as like memorable moments. What I've started off another question here, similar but related. Standout moment, like the wow kind of like moment for you. What was like the standout, like best moment? Like, oh my god, this is amazing kind of thing. Like for me, it was the NASA interview with Jonathan Gardner on the James Webb Space Telescope. Because I remember even after we were done the recording, he was with us talking to us for half hour, 40 minutes off the record, talking about loads of other stuff and everything, all confidential. But 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 a lot of the interviews just like, what just happened. That's the standout thing for me. A lot of the interviews.
I think Rogue Space, twice they've come on the show, and then twice we've just loaded a set of questions for Rogue Space and gone completely off script. And Jerome just has this ability to expand what you think they're capable of doing every time you chat with him. I think it's really exciting. If you haven't seen that chat, we've just released a new one. There's one from 4 months ago. Definitely worth checking out those chats, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Rogue Space, they're partnering up with some big names out there. Even if you guys haven't heard of Rogue Space, I mean, they're partnering up with they're partnering up with Orbital Assembly and other guys you'll know better. Yeah, ULA and Firefly and loads of others. Just lots of work in the background. You guys will hear of Rogue Space a lot more, even if you don't now. In the next year, 2, 3 years, you'll hear a lot more from them, because there's a lot going on in the background that you don't usually see sometimes. It's just absolutely incredible work being done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would agree with Ryan. First interviews, especially with NASA, that they actually came to our show, that was pretty special. And I think the best or most memorable episode I've done must be the one I recorded in Germany at What About It Studios, the Starlink episode.
Yeah, with Felix from
that was absolutely amazing.
You even got Felix to do the intro as well.
Yeah, totally.
That was absolutely amazing. That has anyone else got any questions in the chat? Because I know we're just rambling on about little bits here, but if you've got any questions, just ask us anything, past, future, present, or even if it's something about space, if you want to put us on the spot right now, or Mr. Producer.
Sabolch has commented saying that we have excellent content with like Humans in Space and not enough viewers compared to that, in his opinion. And thank you very much for those kind words, Sabolch. Sabolch has ever been a great supporter of the channel, and that we have a load of supporters. Like they've been growing and growing and growing, and with each and every one of you, we just get inspired to make better and better and better content. So the more of you come here, the more we're going to strive to get that content to you and to make sure that it looks good.
This is the thing, we are by far the most underrated space channel in Team Space, in my opinion. I know that's boastful to say, but just look at the guests that we've got and then look at, you know, the views in comparison. I'd say we're the underdogs that are punching high above our weight, to be honest. Like, if you're watching the content, share it with your friends, share it with your family. If you, there's always a space nerd lingering somewhere. Just send your friends videos of launches and things.
This team is quite literally the result of there's always a space nerd lingering somewhere. That's literally what this team is.
Yeah.
I mean, another standout moment for me as well, I know I'm bouncing back to it, was sitting in front of Launcher One with Spaceport Cornwall and actually doing a show, recording a show there. That was just ridiculous.
You must have felt like a kid at Christmas, man.
Yeah, it's like Launcher One. I could have just turned around and just touched Launcher One, like, there it is. I would just carry on with the show.
Sorry, Mr. Producer chatting our way in our ear there. Just saying that we really appreciate all of the connections that we have made here at TSN. We've made quite a few, and we've made some really fast friends in a few of them, actually. We've found some really good friends from making all these connections as well, which is great, which is really great. And the Team Space community is just a great place to be. It doesn't matter which content creator you follow. It doesn't matter at all. We all support each other in one way or another.
And we all work in the background of other ones as well, unbeknownst to you guys, probably. Because I've done little bits of work for. Well, I'm happy to mention it on air, but I've done little bits of work for Angry Astronaut in the past. Just little bits here and there, and just helping him out or with suggestions or bits of artwork and stuff like that. And then I know some of you guys have been very heavily involved with the What About It and Angry Astronaut also, and any others. There's just, we're all lurking in the background somewhere, helping each other out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if there's not any other questions, I think we'll wrap up. Like I said, I'll just repeat it again. You can find us over on Twitter at Total Space Net, on Instagram and Facebook and everything else now. So if you want to follow us on there, you can. But I've been Ryan from the Space Update.
And I've been Rich LB from Becoming Multiplanetary. Thank you for joining us on this Christmas special episode live on YouTube through the magic of production.
Yeah, and I've been Mikko, the host of Deep Dive. And Merry Christmas to everyone and a Happy New Year. And after this, go watch the Rogue Space chat right away.
Do it. Now.
I've been another Space Nut, and happy holidays, guys.